And US President Joe Biden has made an appeal to Russian President Vladimir Putin to step back from war with Ukraine. He pointed out that Moscow could use needless death and destruction and Putin could face international outrage. Biden, in a nationally televised speech, said that 150,000 Russian troops now encircle Ukraine. This is a higher number of troops than what was previously estimated. There have been reports that Russia has withdrawn some forces. However, according to the United States, these reports are unverified and an invasion remains a possibility.
The minister reported today that some military units are leaving their positions near Ukraine. That would be good, but we have not yet verified that. We have not yet verified the Russian military units are returning to their home bases. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position. And the fact remains, right now, Russia has more than 150,000 troops encircling Ukraine and Belarus and along Ukraine's border. The United States is prepared no matter what happens. We are ready with diplomacy, to be engaged in diplomacy with Russia and our allies and partners to improve stability and security in Europe as a whole. And we are ready to respond decisively to Russian attack on Ukraine, which is still very much a possibility.
Biden also pointed out that diplomacy is still an option to wind down the crisis. He made it clear that American soldiers were not going to fight in Ukraine. He acknowledged that U.S. action in the conflict would have significant blowback on the American economy. There's a possibility of price hikes and disruption to the nation's energy supply. However, if Russia does decide to invade Ukraine, the United States and its allies are prepared to respond with penalties which could lead to economic pain and global isolation.
We'll put intense pressure on their largest and most significant financial institutions and key industries. These measures are ready to go as soon and if Russia moves. We'll impose long-term consequences that will undermine Russia's ability to compete economically and strategically. And when it comes to Nord Stream 2, the pipeline that would bring natural gas from Russia to Germany, if Russia further invades Ukraine, it will not happen.
Biden has conducted talks with both Russian President Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky. The United States has repeatedly warned Moscow of sanctions against businesses, but he's also laid out a roadmap for peaceful resolution. Missile deployments and military exercises have been a major point of discussion in bid to reduce tension and restore peace in the region. Meanwhile, the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov that Washington wants to see a verifiable pullback of Russian forces from Ukraine's border. U.S. State Department has said that during a conversation between the two leaders, Blinken emphasized upon the need for a credible and meaningful de-escalation. WION correspondent Susan Tehrani has now sent us this report from New York. Take a look.
The United States is prepared no matter what happens. Those were the words of U.S. President Joe Biden during a televised address on Tuesday. Joe Biden also said that a Russian invasion of Ukraine, quote, remains distinctly possible, although he did hold out hope that a diplomatic solution could still be within reach with Moscow. At one point, the U.S. president spoke directly to the people of Russia, letting them know that the U.S. and NATO pose no threat to their country and do not view them as, quote, our enemy. The U.S. president had earlier talked to his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron. The two leaders had expressed skepticism of earlier reports that Russia had pulled some of its troops back from the border of Ukraine. The president also mentioned that during his speech on Tuesday, saying the United States, quote, has not verified a Russian troop drawdown. Also, at the State Department, Antony Blinken spoke with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, where he, quote, stated that the United States looks forward to receiving Russia's written response to the U.S. and NATO papers shared with Moscow last month, proposing concrete areas for discussion regarding European security. Some analysts say that perhaps that is a message that a diplomatic path forward may be closer than anticipated. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.